Okay, well, we'll start cross-legged again. You have to close your eyes for a minute. Take a few breaths. Try to relax those shoulders down. As you're hanging out here, just nod the head yes, so chin up and down. And then shake your head no, chin shoulder to shoulder. Big breath in. We're going to exhale, walk the fingertips forward, slide them out. Big deep stretch here to start with. Still trying to keep those shoulders down. Inhale, let's draw up, place the hands behind you and open the chest to the ceiling. We're going to bring the body up. Let's take those feet and move them out in front of you. So just bend the knees and you can place the feet flat. We're going to wrap the arms around and fold over again. All right, let's inhale. We're going to draw on up and let's just go ahead and lay back on the mat, but keep those knees bent. To keep the knees bent, we're going to place the hands next to us, palms facing up toward the ceiling. Letting the chest open and the shoulder blades flatten down onto the mat. And we're trying to sink that tailbone down quite a bit so your lower back is stretched out. So if you feel bunched up, you can kind of walk the hips away from you a little bit. Big breath in. We're going to exhale and keep the feet attached to the mat, but drop your knees to one side. And we'll inhale, draw the knees through the center, and then exhale to the other side. Again, breathing in, drawing the knees through the center. Exhale, drop them off to the side. And one more time. Big breath in and breathe out. Drop those knees over to one side of the mat. Okay, let's bring the knees back to the center. We're going to inhale, draw the knees up to the chest. Big breath in, exhale, send the hands out overhead and stretch the legs out underneath you. Stretching the fingers and the toes. Again, big breath in, draw the knees to the chest, wrap your arms around. Breathe in. As you exhale, send those arms out overhead and legs underneath you. So we're going to breathe in, draw those hands down. We're going to roll over onto our side for a moment. So you can take your arm and prop your head up on your bent arm if you would like. Keep your head up off the ground. And then we're going to take your top knee, pull it up toward your chest, and we're going to grab hold of the ankle. And then once you have a hold, we're going to start moving the knee away from the chest. So we're pointing the knee down, trying to make a straight line from your chest, past your hips, all the way to your knee, going into a quad stretch. Just holding for a few breaths. Awesome. You can pull that knee up toward the chest again. Release your hand from your ankle. We're going to bend the knees. Take that hand that was underneath your head and place it down on the mat. We're going to move up into the side plank. So we're going to place one hand here on our side. Big breath in. We're going to exhale. Pick the hips up off of the mat, pushing the hips into that hand. Trying to keep the elbow underneath the shoulder. And then if you'd like, you can take that top arm and stretch it up toward the ceiling, adding to that balance pose. One more big breath in. We're going to exhale, drop the hips down. You can roll on over to your other side. I'm just going to flip around here. Roll over to your other side, and we're going to start with propping the head up like we did on the other side first. So bend the elbow. You can place your head on the crook of your elbow, and we're going to bring the top knee up toward the chest. So bring that knee up, grab hold of our ankle. And same thing here, we're going to start working that knee away from our chest. So that knee is going to start pointing down, trying to straighten out. So straight line from your chest through your hip all the way to your knee. One more breath in and out here. We're going to draw the knee up toward the chest again, just to relieve that stress on the leg. You can let that go. We're going to bend both the knees, same thing. Let's bring your forearm underneath your shoulder. We're going to move up into a side plank, so that hand's going to go on your hip. Big breath in, exhale to lift. We're pushing those hips forward slightly, so it's more of a challenge. And then once again, yep, that top hand can go up toward the ceiling. Wave at your imaginary friends. Hello, friends. One more big breath in. I'm going to exhale, pull that on down. You can bring it up off of the mat. We're going to go on to hands and knees. Take the random hairs off of your body. All right, so hands are going to go underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. We're gonna go through cat and cow here. So we'll start in a nice neutral position. Big breath in, we lift the forehead and tailbone. Breathing in, as you exhale, we're gonna round through the spine, tucking your forehead and your tailbone. Again, inhaling when you're ready. We're gonna pull those shoulders down. Shoulder blades will come closer together. Big breath in, and then exhale to round. Moving those shoulder blades apart, lifting the spine toward the ceiling. One more time through both of those positions on your own. And then returning to neutral when you're ready. We're going to curl the toes under. You can move the hands forward a little bit. And then just falling forward and back, getting a little motion through the shoulders, stretching out through those feet. Remember, you're monitoring how much you're moving. So if you need more of a stretch backwards, you can sit back more. If that bugs the knees, don't go back as far. When you're ready, we're going to make sure those hands are underneath the shoulders, but our hips are going to be forward a bit. We're going to be moving into a plank. So you can either start this on your knees, or you can go ahead and lift those knees up off of the mat. Keep that body nice and flat. Couple big breaths. One more breath in and out. Now drop the knees down on that exhale. Send the knees out wide. Bring the big toes together. Go ahead and set it back. Leave those wrists and stretch through the shoulders. Couple more easy breaths. Allow the shoulders to open up. Okay, we're going to bring it forward when you're ready. Remember, you can stay there as long as you want. We're going to go into threading the needle. So one hand down, other hand's going to come up toward the ceiling. Big turn to the side. Couple of breaths here. And then we're going to thread that through, hand going behind the hand that's attached to the floor. Returning the chest to the side. Trying to settle as close to the mat as possible. One more breath in and out here. If you feel like you need to stay longer, you can feel that you're stretching your arm away from your shoulder, maybe pulling your shoulder blade away from the spine. When you're ready to move on, we're going to place that hand down again, and we're going to repeat on the other side. So pulling that hand up toward the ceiling, taking a few breaths. And then same thing, we're going to thread it through, turning the chest to the side, taking a few breaths. And same thing here, if you need to accentuate the stretch, try to feel like you're moving your arm further away from your shoulder, letting your shoulder blade kind of detach from your spine. Awesome, we're gonna inhale, let's bring it on up. We're gonna move the knees off to the side for a sec, just going into a 90-90 to get some stretching on the outside of the hips. So front leg is in front of you, other leg is off to the side. We're making 90-degree bends at both knees, settling in for a sec to stretch in. Fix my pants here, I'm falling down. Stretch in through the middle part of the groin first. And then once all that feels settled, you can take your hands in front of you, just fold over that front leg and settle down as far as you need. Everyone's hip structure is a little bit different, so you might not have to go down quite as far to get a decent stretch. Give it 1 or 2 more deep breaths. And then when you're ready to move on, we're going to come up out of that shape. We're going to turn and try to stretch both hands toward that back leg. So maybe one hand here, other here, as far as you can, and slight lean in that direction. And if you need to, you can have that other hand behind you, kind of kickstanding. There you go. It makes it a bit easier. One more breath here. We're going to inhale and draw up. We're going to flip over to the other side. So just switch those legs around. Other leg is going to be in front now. And same deal, we want to make sure our front thigh is going straight out in front of us and the other thigh is going off to the side. So we're just trying to settle in here first. We're sitting up nice and tall, letting the inside of that thigh and groin stretch a bit. And once that feels all settled, you can bring your hands out in front of you. And same thing, we're folding over that front leg as far as you're comfortable. Give this one another breath or two. And then same thing, we're going to come up out of that shape and we're going to start to bend over to the other side. So one hand reaches at least. If you need to kickstand that hand behind you, you can, or you can stretch both hands over, get deeper into that inner thigh. All right, when you're ready, let's go ahead and come up out of that shape. Bring those legs out of the pretzel position, and we're going to stand on up. Just take your time getting up there. All right, so side knees. All right, so just taking a second, standing up nice and tall. You can roll those shoulders back, take a few breaths. Make sure my hand's not getting cut off in the camera here. Soften those knees just a little bit. Big breath in. We're going to exhale, send the hands down, move the hips back. Big breath in, knees forward, hips forward. Let's bring it on up nice and straight. We're gonna turn sideways for a sec, do a couple of easy stretches here. Okay, so feet nice and wide. Start with hands on the hips, just pressing the hips forward, little backwards lean. Get some of the front side of the body. Okay, big breath in. We're gonna exhale, send the hips back. You can either stop here with your back nice and flat and just focus on the hamstrings, or you can sink the rest of the way to the mat and reach those hands down. We're gonna take those hands, walk them over to one leg, both hands reaching. And then walking those hands through the center, we're gonna reach to the other side, same thing, both hands reaching. Okay, then walking it back to the center, we're gonna soften the knees, bring the body up nice and tall. We're gonna bring those feet together. Let's go ahead and settle down onto the mat. So either on your belly or on your back. Go ahead and find a position that is comfortable. Let's take these last couple minutes just to rest. You can take one more minute here. And as you decide you're done for today, you can wiggle around and sit on up when you're done. Alrighty, well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time.